What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded. It is May 9th, 2023, and it is 2:24 in the afternoon. Why am I here right now, this early in the day? Well, because we decided to stop trading right around 1 o'clock this afternoon, 1:30, whatever the case is. I think I actually got off the mic at around 1:50. Why? Well, because there was nothing worth trading today. Now I do see that the market is moving a little bit more now, but these pre-CPI days tend to be rough to trade, low volatility, slow move, tight range, all of which this chart was doing up until just recently. And I find that it's people decide to take trades out of boredom versus the chart telling them to. And when that happens, you're usually going to lose money. Okay. That being said, I took 2 trades today. The first one cost me $500, being down $500. The second trade worked out as planned, took a little bit more time than I wanted it to, but I was able to get out at my $500 profit, netting me exactly zero on the day today. And that was the last trade that I took. I will share both those trades with you guys in this video. And yeah, I think I only recommended one more trade in the day, and that was because I was going to take it myself. Decided to do otherwise, which we'll explain when we get to it. And that was pretty much it. So let's go ahead and launch the charts, see what we got going on. So in the pre-market, we actually had a very, very, very tight range, 411.03 to 411.52, just about 50 cents. We have our previous day's low of day right here, this pink line. And as you can see, we spent almost the entire pre-market in that 50-cent range. Now, leading up to this, I had already let our community know that I thought today was going to be a very tight ranging day, and that if we spent any time between these blue lines, that it would, unless it was channeling, it was going to be very difficult to have the confidence to take a trade. When you're talking about a 50-cent range, guys, if you're not playing with heavy leverage, it's tough to justify taking a trade in a super tight range, okay? As far as the first trade of the day, I had no indication of whether we were going to go up or down. My thought process was we were going to spend more time going sideways than up or down, okay? I didn't come to that realization until I saw the pre-market this morning. It doesn't matter, you know, CPI is coming tomorrow. I think the market's trying to position itself for that information. And the chart leading up to the time we decided to stop trading showed us that there was nothing worth doing, right? So I'm in a weird spot where I don't necessarily look forward to taking half days, but I also know that if I continue to talk about a chart, even though it's a chart that I don't feel comfortable trading, somebody inevitably is going to use my voice, my words, my reasoning, my thought process to jump into a trade, okay? And the only way I can combat that is by shutting it down, right? I ask the overall community for a general consensus. What do you guys think? Should we quit trading for the day? When you get in a tight range like this and you start taking trades out of boredom, you're going to lose money, okay? It's just the way it works. It's how it works. Theta is going to get you. You know, your emotions will get you. Hold and hope. You know, it all settles in, okay? Just be wise when you're trading, okay? You can't lose money if you don't have money in the market, right? Don't think of it the other way. I'll leave money on the table if I don't continue to trade. There's 2 sides to every coin, guys. Okay, there's 2 sides to every coin. So I ask you this, which scenario would ruin your day first? Trying to make money that ended up costing you money, meaning you lost money today, or deciding not to trade, having risked no ability to lose money, but find out that you would have left some money on the table. Which one's going to ruin your day? I didn't trade today, but I didn't lose any money. Good. Or I forced trades today and I lost money. Bad. That one's going to be the one that ruins your day. And if that's the answer to the question you should be asking yourself, don't trade for the day. Okay. That said, I have a 10-minute rule that I try and stay out of the market for the first 10 minutes. As you can see, this was on the 11th minute, but what was I looking at? Well, I was looking at a relatively weak market. We were in a very tight range. We broke out of that range. We retested this support line 4 times in a row. Had a very solid support down here at 410.74. Told everybody I'm going to put a limit order in to buy some puts here. looking for it to get down to this 410.74 line, wasn't looking for a move all the way down, wasn't looking for anything in particular, but that price target. That would have paid me a $500 trade. That would have been a $500 win for me. However, I got filled with my limit order, and then the very next candle proceeded to rip my face off. It ripped it off. I had my stop was to be at a close above 411.13, and as we started to just blow through that, I stopped myself out for a loss of $100 per contract. That was a $500 losing trade. That sucked, but I was asked right after, how are you so calm even though you just lost money? There's a lot involved in the answer to that question. Most importantly is this, though. The downside to trading is that you lose money, right? If you ever take a trade without the understanding that there is a possibility to lose money, you shouldn't be trading. The risk to trading is costing yourself money. The reward to trading is gaining money. There's only two outcomes. You either make money on a trade or you lose money on the trade. If you forget that you can lose money on a trade, you need to reassociate yourself with the fact that this is not a 100% win rate for anybody, no matter who you are. Even big money. I don't care how long you've been trading, how good you are, how many green days, how many green trades. I don't care. You will eventually take a losing trade. I'm subject to the same rules as everybody else. So I took a losing trade. It cost me $500. I did it right there in front of God and everybody with the most amount of members we've ever had in the voice chat today, which I think at the time was 307. So yeah, it's humbling. It sucks to be wrong in front of so many people, but at the same time, it's understandable. I'm a human being. I tried to get in on resistance, and I was looking for a very specific move, and it went against me. No trade setup is ever going to be 100%. Don't ever forget that. Okay. At that time, we were also trending down. So I was giving this line as my entry point. It just didn't work. Move up. We hit yesterday's low of day. Can't hold above it. Once again, get above it. Can't stay above it. We pull back down, put in a higher low, finding support on 411.03, our original pre-market line. Allows me to draw an upward trend line. We get through yesterday's low of day, have a break and retest up to some unknown number. This 411.70 was not a pivot point. It wasn't a, was it a pivot point? No, wasn't a pivot point. Wasn't any resistance that I have found from a previous trading day. It just decided to stop there and whatever. So you wouldn't have known when to get out if you held through this blue line. But this big wick on top would be enough to say, we're at the high of day. Maybe people are taking profits. Maybe the shorts, that were keeping this pre-market short are here. Who knows? Doesn't matter. You would have needed to know when to spot weak price action in order to get out of this trade with the profit if you got in at the break and retest. Okay. Again, I didn't condone this trade because it's only a 25-cent move. At this point, I'm taking my trade because I am playing heavy leverage, and that would have been worth it to me. Okay. I make this stuff very clear before the trading day even starts. And more importantly, when I see that it's a tight moving day, I also remind people constantly, don't trade this chart. Just because I am doesn't mean you have to. I am trading for income with a very specific set of rules, a very specific amount of money. I'm using more money so that I can make more money out of smaller moves. That is different for somebody who, if you want to take a trade in a tight range, have lower expectations of your return on profit. Okay. That move for me was a 14.2% loss. Okay. Now, if it would have gone the other way, would have been a 15% win. It's relative, right? If I'm paying $3,500 for that trade, a 10% win is $350. Okay, that's a good trade for somebody who's playing with the ability to play a larger position size. You could take the same trade with a single SPY contract, make the same 10 or 15%. But if you're playing a $100 contract, just remember that 10% is a $10 win. Okay, people get confused or look at that $10 and say, well, I'm going to hold on to this for longer because $10 is just not enough. Look at the percentages and then think in your mind, okay, if I was playing a 10-pack position, that would be a $100 profit. I'd be happy with that. You have to keep things in perspective, guys. You have to. I have been fortunate enough to grow my trading account to a size, along with my confidence, to play an equivalent position size of 50 contracts, playing 5 SPS contracts. And as you see, it could very quickly go against you also. And I'm happy to have taken that loss in front of everybody so that the haters could feast and see that Jimmy does take red trades. And then on the second trade, I actually expected to close my day red, to be completely honest. And we're going to get into that in just a second. So we pulled back from this high a day, broke right through the trend line. You had people who wanted to play the counter trend trade, got in here and got out at this line of support. You had some that tried to hold down to here or tried to get all the way down to here. I wasn't one of them. However, I did say, well, look, we spent 6 minutes on this line of support. Once we got back above it, we haven't come back below it. I'm going to take calls off here, looking for the move to bring me back up to this line of resistance at 411.52. Again, 50-cent move. I made it very clear that I would stop myself out at a candle close below 410.87. Where does that come from? Right here where these 3 candles failed to move lower. Okay. Yes, we wicked below it. No, we didn't close below it. Ultimately, this thing worked its way up. Now, this is a very long trade for me. And I had told everybody in the community, this trade's going to go one of 2 ways. It's either going to stop me out or we're going to hit our profit target. There was no in between. I, at this point, had already taken a loss. If this trade would have been red, I would have been done for the day. I have a 2 red trades in a row rule that if I get 2 red trades in a row, I'm done. I stop trading for the day. Why is that? Because the 3rd trade ends up becoming a revenge trade more often than not. And when that happens, you'll play bigger, you'll stay in longer, you'll ignore rules, all to chase that negative number that you're already sitting on. It's not good for me, so I choose to not make the problem potentially worse by continuing to trade. With that, I had very clear rules. I'm going to get out if this happens. I'm going to get out if this happens. It's either going to be to the plus side or the minus side. If it would have been down to the plus or to the minus side, I would have probably had close to $1,000 loss on the day. Would have had a red trading day, but instead stuck to my rules, accepted that I'm probably going to be red on the day. No emotion in it. You can ask the folks in our community. Calm, cool, and collected, ultimately making it up within 5 cents, actually 4 cents of our profit target. I went ahead and got out for the same $100 per contract that I lost on this one. On this one, making me net 0 for the day. And that was the last trade that I took. However, we put in a lower high, higher low. So essentially, we're just one big fat, slow-moving wedge. Okay. And then we started to peak out above this resistance line, found support on yesterday's low a day, bounced around in there, had another pullback down here. And as you can see, this line of support was pretty strong. As we were working our way back down, I said, you know what? Based on the price of what the contracts were here, I was looking for a fill around $4 per contract if we got back down to this line. Now, because of the amount of time that passed, they ended up making it down. They were $3.70 at this line. So I'd canceled my order somewhere up here as we got closer, and I realized that price was not going to fill me down here at this line. And at that point, I had said, you know what, I'm not going to trade anymore today. I don't like this chart. I don't like the movement or the lack thereof. The contracts aren't moving. Nothing is got any kind of confirmation behind it. So I put this arrow here because I was going to take a trade here, and I put it here because we started talking about how rough it was to even get back to break even. And then once we got back above and up to VWAP, right there would have been your ability to take profits for a small profit, right? I think we got in it here at 370 and they were worth 390 at this point, 20 bucks a contract. But at that point, we just traded sideways on this pre-market low line, got back above yesterday's low of day, spent more time between there. And now we're just in another range, just a little bit higher than we were, right? So we've got resistance currently right here at 412.04. And support right here down here where we're at 411.71, which I think is where we had old support before, or old resistance before. See, resistance, 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 now turned into support here. If we crash below that support, we'll probably head right back down to this blue line. If we crash below the blue line, we're going to come down to the pink line. And the pattern will just continue to repeat itself over and over and over again. But let me tell you this. If you bought into puts or calls here at 370 bucks, even all the way up here, you were just then breaking even again for those of you who held on to them. Now, if you held longer than that and got in all the way up here, you gained about $200 per contract. But to show you how heavy theta works against you, 370 here, 370 here. Okay, pretty wild stuff, actually. Even in a 40-cent move, that's how bad it gets if you hold on to trades for too long. But with that, we're going to wrap it up. Who knows what the rest of the day is going to bring? It won't matter because I won't be watching it or trading it myself. I'm closing the day out even. And yeah, so we'll pick it up tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a doozy. We got CPI in the morning. And yeah, they're looking for very specific things to be reported in that if they don't come back, housing being the one, if rents and housing don't start dropping in price, I think the market might look at that as a bearish issue because that's going to keep inflation numbers elevated and the Fed is trying to fix inflation. So I don't know, guys, we're going to see how it all works out in the end. Just be careful. Know when to stop trading, know when to skip trading. Okay. There's no rule that says we have to trade every day. Okay. And I try and reiterate these rules day in, day out within our community. And some people listen, some people don't, but we have more and more people who are getting better and better at trading in here. And that is the thing that makes me happiest. With that, we're going to wrap it up. I hope you all had a fantastic day. If you got any useful information out of this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to stay on the YouTube radar. They have cut the monetization out of every financial channel out there. I went from, at my best, making $800 in a month on monetization to now like 130. In my subscriber count, watch hours, everything has gone up. But with that said, I'm not going to stop trying. The YouTube is not for making money. It's to get information out to you guys so that I can help as many people as possible. I don't know of another platform that will allow me to do that. So please like, share, and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. If you'd like to join our Discord community, first week's completely free. We'd love to have you. Come in there, get all the perks that are involved with being a patron member. And if you like it, become a permanent member. If not, you don't have to leave, but no harm, no foul. You've paid nothing. You've maybe learned something while you were there for that week. And yeah, there's that. If you'd like to become a paying member, there's a link down below for that as well. You can do it through LaunchPass or Patreon. Either one works fine. And that's it. Check out our website, www.trading-dakota.com. And we'll get at it tomorrow. We should get some good moves and maybe make a lot of money. Maybe lose some money. You never know. Hopefully make money, though. All right, we're going to wrap it up. I love you guys. Till the next one. See ya!